A local college campus is celebrating its 80th anniversary this month. Marshall Keeley tells us why Penn State's Altoona campus was nearly forced into closure just years after opening. Marshall?
Tim, today Penn State Altoona's chancellor took part in a dedication ceremony. A plaque was placed at the site where the first classes were held over 80 years ago. One history instructor says the campus had to overcome one of the most difficult time periods in the last century.
Penn State Altoona, originally established as the Altoona Undergraduate Center, was really born of two of the most tumultuous events in American history.
In the late 1930s, Altoona experienced a growing interest in opportunities for college education.
There was an interest in this community always to have some type of higher education.
It all began with a gentleman by the name of Ted Holtzinger. He reached out to various officials at Penn State College, as it was then known, up in University Park. And really, he wanted to establish a platform for higher education.
Despite the financial crisis known as the Great Depression, thousands of people from the Altoona area pitched in to help start the new undergraduate center.
About 8,000 local residents contributed some $5,000 in 1939 for the purchasing of an old elementary school building called the Webster School Building on Lexington Avenue.
On September 13, 1939, 119 students and 9 faculty took part in the first day of classes. But the start of World War II quickly put the facility in jeopardy.
The very same week that the undergraduate center opens up, war in Europe begins.
Once the war hit, then we ran into difficulties as far as enrollments of our male students who are all being drafted.
Penn State Altoona began recruiting female students and creating programs providing the skills necessary to assist in wartime efforts.
It was really a great opportunity for the women in the area to not only go to college, but enter into programs like engineering that were traditionally, male-dominated at the time.
Those World War II years, they were absolutely fundamental in changing not only education, but who was seeking education and what sort of degrees they could attain. It was really that sort of innovation and the influx of female students to Penn State Altoona that really kept this place afloat.
During the war, campus director Robert E. Ika kept in touch with students serving overseas. Kimmel says Ika saw it as an opportunity to support students and prove the undergraduate center's worth to the Pennsylvania State College.
He started corresponding with the individuals who were drafted via newsletter.
One of the big underlying themes that we see in so many of their letters is how valuable education was to them, the importance of literacy, the importance of higher education.
Frederick says once the war ended, the influx of students returning from war meant the undergraduate center had outgrown its building. He says the original founders started a second round of fundraising.
They hoped to buy this old defunct amusement park known as Ivyside. Over 30 acres, once home of the world's largest in-ground swimming pool, and this would become what was then sometimes derisively known as Bathhouse U.
Though enrollment has climbed to over 4,000 students, Frederick says one thing hasn't changed in 80 years.
It has retained this organic hometown relationship that helped establish it in the first place.
Seeing the development of the college throughout the years, there is not a day that I don't walk through this campus, then and now, thinking what has happened here, how phenomenal it's been, and it's through the support of community.
Penn State Altoona's chancellor says the campus expansion to downtown over the past 2 decades brings the school closer to its roots.
The community has come around the concept of our moving there. I'd like to think that our four founders and fathers and mothers would be very pleased with the progress of the college and our expansion into downtown Altoona again.
Bechtel-Wary says the campus is continually strengthened by the encouragement of the surrounding counties. She says Penn State Altoona is fortunate to have had the support and vision of those communities throughout its 80-year history. Live in Altoona, Marshall Keeley, 6 News.